Coach and then open up for questions for Coach and Jordan Harrison.
Yeah, well, obviously tough day at the office for us. Credit to TCU. That's a really, really good basketball team that I thought played pretty well. I thought we were prepared. I thought we were ready. I was excited to see what we did against the quality of a team and a big game and a meaningful game for a lot of reasons this late in the year. And yeah, we just didn't play very well. Didn't make shots when we got the right shots. At times I didn't think we took the great shots. Didn't get stops when we needed to get stops, so we just really never put much of any runs together. They did. We didn't have the answers. We tried different defenses and different presses and just, at times found a few things that worked, but for the most part just didn't have much that was sustainable at all. So credit to them. They got a lot of good pieces. They've been really good in this building all year. So we'll go back to the drawing board, and we still have a lot to play for, and we'll get it figured out.
Coach, at this point in the season, how thin is that margin between winning and losing?
Well, normally you would think somewhat thin. Today, maybe not so much because we didn't, compete at the level that I hoped that we would. But our kids are resilient, and we've been here before, and we like our group. But yeah, when you get to this, you get up to climbing the mountain and you playing top 10 teams on the road, the margin for error is small, and you've got to be really dialed in.
How hard is it to prepare for a team like this that kind of has the outside option and the inside option? And when you guys are a team that likes to press and pride yourself on defense, just talk about how hard it is to prepare for a team like TCU.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like hard from a preparation standpoint. It's hard to guard because their talent is really good, and yes, they have really good pieces. So it's, if you make a mistake, they're good enough to make you pay at a lot of different positions. And so yeah, like we prepare the same way for everybody. But yeah, like Sedona presents a problem, and then if you do, you take that one away, then you got to worry about Van Lith and Connor, and and if you would have told me some of those kids wouldn't score, what they scored, and I would have thought maybe we had a chance. We held them to 6 threes. There were some things, 18 turnovers isn't a ton, but a decent amount, and we only had 12. Like, there's some things that you look at. We each had 12 offensive rebounds. There were some things, if you would have told me before the game, I would have thought it would have been a little bit closer. But yeah, to their credit, they just they hit timely shots. I thought they got timely offensive rebounds when maybe we had a good defensive possession. And again, they're good enough when you make a mistake to make you pay.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Jordan. You guys have.
Well, what an awesome college basketball game. What an unbelievable environment. 2 good teams on ESPN playing for high stakes late in February. That's all you can ask for. And I thought our team showed up ready to hoop today. They were locked in on the defensive end. That against that team, that's as good a defensive effort as we've played over the course of 40 minutes all season. And we talked, this is game number 29, and it's time to put it all together. And the journey of the season, you learn all sorts of stuff. And with 3 games to go, a league title at stake, a chance at a top 16, this was one of those games we needed to show up and show out, and our group did that. And so just so proud, and at the same time, we'll celebrate this and then turn the page, and we got 2 more.
Hey, with 26 points for you tonight, I think it's the most you scored since February 2nd. I guess, one, how good did it feel to kind of have that breakout game against this type of opponent, and what was working for you today?
Yeah, honestly, I've been playing the same style of basketball. It's just teams have changed up their scheme on me. And to be honest, if teams are going to double me, that's fine. Like, I'm not going to make the game about me and try and score over a double. Like, I have great teammates, so I've been getting off the ball the last 3 or 4 games because that's what the defense has given me. And we've won, so my teammates are doing a great job scoring out of it. So, that's the right read. But today, I had a lot of one-on-one matchups, and I figured I'd take advantage of it. I got a lot of great opportunities out of closeouts. In the zone, I was able to find the middle and get some easy looks. And also, the ball screen with me in Sedona, when we pitch and I can cut or I can use it, it's pretty dangerous. So Sedona did a great job finding me, and I hit shots when I was open.
Coach, West Virginia coach talked about looking at the stats and, only 6 threes, rebounds the same, and yet you guys still win by, double digits. How critical is it that your team continues to evolve as you kind of wind down the regular season?
Yeah, no question. And Haley just talked about it. Every game, you've seen different defensive schemes that people are trying to do to slow us down. You know, the game ago there was a triangle and two. These guys, their main defense is a matchup zone. There's a couple teams tried to trap Haley on every pick and roll. Teams are trying to double Sedona, and so at the end of the day, it's the time of the year where there's desperation and people are just trying different things to see what works. And this group, it's so fun to watch them. They're so smart. You might get them, fool them once. You're not fooling them twice. And Haley just nailed it. She, especially her, but everybody, they're playing the game right. They're taking what the defense, gives us. And it's neat. As you head into every game, our team's excited to see, okay, what's the scheme that they're going to use to try to slow this group down? And then you go hoop. And in the second half, they played straight man. And that allowed Haley, which she hasn't had in a long time, opportunities to be a true aggressive playmaking guard and to go at people. And so she made great reads all night.
Donovan Hunter, her stat line isn't going to blow you away, but her defense, lockdown defense individually, I felt like that maybe gave you guys a little bit of a spark on defense. And just her running the point, talk about her play tonight. I just felt like she kind of gave you guys a lift.
Donna's emergence over the course of the season's awesome, and we pulled her out of the lineup for a little bit as she was figuring things out, and there's. In February, you need different people to step up. And the big three, Haley and Madison and Sedona got this program up and running this season and carried a heavy load until everybody else kind of caught up and got comfortable. And so it's been really fun to see all these kids step up in different ways. You had Taylor Bigby that was a huge performance at Iowa State. Donald's been performing. Aaliyah Roberson has been phenomenal. Agnes. So all these kids, and that's what you need to do what we're trying to do and win at an elite level. You need these people to step up. So I thought Dono, how many minutes she played? 35 minutes against a team that presses and does their matchup zone. I think Dono was phenomenal. And the stats don't always tell the whole story.
Another person that seems to be emergence, Deasia. She's not just giving you guys minutes. She's actually scoring points. I think she had a couple of assists. What can you just say about her?
Same thing. She's been in the fight, and obviously she's playing behind an All-American and one of the best players in the country. And so she has grinded. She stayed. She works on her craft. We call it the Get Ready group, that you always have to be ready over the course of the season. And, Deasia, she's an awesome kid, but that's a hard role. Is to grind, to work, to stay in the fight, and you don't know what your minutes are going to be on any given game. But she has been awesome for us. She's given us very valuable minutes, and we need her down the stretch of the season.
Haley, Bill Self talked about his team needing a break from each other last week, and at this point in the season, you guys come off a long road trip to Arizona. How do you continue to have that joy playing together and playing for and with each other?
Yeah, I don't know what they got going on. We don't need a break from each other. We love each other. I actually, the trip was great. We came back, had a great week of practice. We love being around each other. Everyone is great energy all the time. One thing I will say is, this team, nobody is, soaking in their own ego ever. Aaliyah's been playing great, and she played a minute today, and she's still herself, cheering us on, energetic. That's just the type of people we have. So we're going to stand the test of time because of the people that we have on our team and the fact that we're all willing to sacrifice for the team to win.
Haley, can you speak to the joy that seemed to be on your all faces to get win number 26, to do something that has not been done here before in this program?
Yeah, I think the season hasn't been all up for us. Obviously, we've had downs. And I think the joy comes from the fact that we never let any obstacle knock us down for too long. We get up really fast. And when you persevere and persevere and persevere like that, you naturally have joy. And so I'm happy for my teammates that stepped up. Like you said, I think Donna was huge. Taylor Bigby and Agnes were huge. And it's fun to see my teammates play good because I know what it's like to be in their shoes sometimes and have to step up when your team needs you. So, you can't help but have joy.
Coach, can you speak to the fact that this team could go undefeated at home? So you haven't lost at home. You got one more game here, and what that would mean.
Oh, this whole ride's been magical. This whole season's been magical, and you put together a collection of young ladies that are really talented. And that's step one. Can you get the talent? And then the second piece is, are they willing to just jump in with 2 feet and play the game right and create a awesome culture in the locker room? And it takes all those things to come together to have a chance to go undefeated at home. And so we got the talent. They came together in June and have been all in this whole time. It has been a joy for me to be a part of this group. And then Fort Worth has showed up, and the students have showed up. And so all of those things coming together have allowed us to go undefeated. We got one more now. We got Houston at home, and hopefully, we finish right and get a chance to host 2 games at the Schollmeyer. But I'll tell you what, I would love the opportunity to have 2 games here during March Madness and see what this crowd and environment looks like. And you guys, I want to talk about, just the joy that these kids have. If you guys came to our practice yesterday, you would have had no idea that we had a top 20 showdown on ESPN. Haley's one of them, Madison Connor. They're out there going through our 5-on-0 stuff and playing keep away and cracking jokes. And there is just such a youthful, fun energy to this group. At the same time, it's fascinating because they have played at the highest level. Like they're not nervous. They're not scared for the moment. Haley's been to Final Fours. Sedona's been on the number 1 team in the country. Donovan Hunter's been to Elite 8. Agnes has won national championship and played in Final Fours. Like Taylor Bigby's been in an Elite 8. Like this group has a rare combination of maturity to have fun, and then when it's go time and it's time to step in the ring and lock in, they can do both.
Talk about this group and how special they are. You'll celebrate senior night on Wednesday. It's a different era in the transfer portal where you don't have a lot of 4-year players, but this group of seniors has obviously made a giant impact on this program. How do you feel going into that night, an opportunity to play in a senior night at TCU and then to celebrate a really special senior class?
Yep. I'm going to make sure I don't get emotional now because I'll get emotional on Wednesday. This group and what they've done is amazing. They've taken our program to heights that have never been. There's a couple of kids that have been here both years. This one right here, I'm happy for and thankful for. This is the ringleader right here. So Wednesday is going to be really special.
And Haley, for you in your 1 year at TCU, what are you looking forward to in that moment Wednesday?
Yeah, obviously, it's probably going to be very emotional, and that's going to be a hard balance. You cry in the intro, and then you have to turn around and play a game. So that'll be an interesting dynamic for us. But mostly, I'm really excited to just enjoy that day. I think this year I've really been trying to be super present every day because I know the gift that this year has been for me and these people that I'm around. I'm not perfect. I'm human just like everyone else. Like I mess up, I make mistakes, and they just have never given up on me, and they continue to pour into me. And the success that I've had, I would not even touch it if this wasn't the group that was around me. So I can't wait to just enjoy that day. And it's not our last game here, though. It won't be our last game here.
Haley, can you speak to what the conversation was with you and Coach when he said come here, and what both of you thought it could be and what it's been able to be?
When I was going to commit?
Yeah.
It's actually a funny story because I've known Coach since high school, and he had called a few times when I was in the portal, and at first he messed up because he called my dad, so that was the first mistake. But then I just had a feeling. I was like, you know what, Dad? I was talking to my parents. I was like, I need to go check TCU out. Like, something about it, it was just on my heart. Like God was putting it on my heart. And as soon as I came on campus, like I knew this was the place for me. I think my relationship with Coach has been a huge blessing, not just basketball, like my faith, my life, how I operate every day, my values. Like it really has been a part of God's plan for me to be here this year. And He's challenged me a lot to open up and be vulnerable with Him, and really show who I am. And I'm working on it. Again, not perfect, but I couldn't be more thankful for Him. And we talked about what we thought this team could do, and we've exceeded that. So whatever that conversation was way below what we're doing right now. The way I'm playing is way below what we were talking about. It really has been cool, but it makes you hungrier. Like, I'm not satisfied with that. Like, there's something about it that I just want to keep eating more. So, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, I still remember where I was in my car. I think I just finished eating at Einstein Bagels, and talked to her dad, and it was really cool. He just said, "Listen, I'm going to call Haley and just make sure you're available in the next 10, 15 minutes." And so our first conversation, it was really neat because Haley told me that TCU is something that I was thinking of before you ever called. And that was our very first conversation. And so, Haley, you guys, she loves the game so much and works so hard. And I've got to see her since she was 15 years old, and the work that she has put in. And so I just knew if we could land her, that she would thrive in our culture, thrive here, thrive in our system. But it was stressful to me because you never know in recruiting, right?
Gotta keep you on your toes, guys.
She's done that.
Never know the next move.
She's done that. But Haley's one of those kids that changes your whole program in every area. Since the day she's been here, her work ethic, and she's doing 3 a days, getting ready for the Paris Olympics. And it opens the eyes to all your players on your team, your staff, of this is what it looks like. And Haley, truly, one of her greatest gifts, she has no chill. She is the ultimate competitor in everything she does, in her grind, in her preparation. We have a pro that's still in college, is what we have. And so the impact that she's had on this group, our staff, and then just TCU women's basketball, I'm just forever grateful for Haley in this 9 months that we got to be together. Man, I'd give my left arm to have another ride and do it again. But we're going to make sure this one, we're going to max this out. And we got a lot of basketball still ahead of us.
Haley, you were talking about the girls you're playing with and the talent that they have. Madison broke her own school record with three-pointers when you were on the Arizona trip. Just talk about kind of what you saw in her when she was doing that, what it meant to her, and just what the work ethic you've seen with her the entire season to do that.
Yeah, I think I have a ton of respect for Maddie because she is just a player who has swag, who knows who she is. She could go 0 for 7 the game before and come out and go break the school three-point record the next game. She has that true belief in herself, and I recognize that in her. I see it, and that's why we get along so well, is because we just we're kind of the same person with different playing styles. But she's another girl always in the gym. We literally have to beg her to sit down so that she's fresh for the game. She loves the game, and she's actually more than a three-point shooter. I think she's been a great playmaker. She had 6 assists today. Yeah. She makes really elite reads. And everyone talks about the shooting ability because she's one of one in this country. I've never seen anyone who can do what she does. The level of difficulty of shots that she hits consistently is one of one. But, she's more than that. She makes great reads. When we challenge her on defense, sometimes we can get something out of her. But I love her. I love being around her. And she's made this year super fun for me.
Haley, Coach just said that even before you talked to him, you were already kind of maybe not leaning toward TCU, but thinking about it. Why was that? Why was TCU already on your mind?
Yeah, well, I knew him when I was in high school. He was my recruiter to Oregon when he was coaching at Oregon, and I just knew. I knew what system he ran. I knew what type of people he had on his team, character and basketball skills, and I knew the staff and the way that they operated. And it's just it's something that you want to be a part of. And I knew girls on this team. Like I've known Sedona. I knew who Maddie Connor was, and just sometimes God just puts things on your heart, and I immediately knew that was a school I needed to check out. And it was a chaotic time for me. I had just I was trying out for the Olympics. Like there was a lot going on, and for me to really feel like every day I wake up, something was telling me to pick up the phone and call coach. Like that's just God working in my life. So I can't really explain what I think it was, besides just divine intervention. So,
Coach, you got the scout.
Mignon, man, she nailed it. These guys, it's so fun to watch the growth of your coaching staff, the growth of the team. Mignon worked on this really hard, and they're unique because they do so much with their press, their matchup zone, their man defense, and then they got two good guards, and so they come at you in a lot of ways. So, and then the team, ultimately the scout, it's great, but it's what the team can retain and understand, and their journey this year of locking in on the defensive end. And it's hard to get this talented, explosive offensive group to also want to get stops. And you guys, it's been amazing, and so they're doing it, but Haley, you guys, something the sneaky thing about our team, you get all this offensive star power, and they've been explosive. We're a really good defensive unit. And I think we're one of the best defensive units in the country. And you have the best shot blocker back there in Sedona. And then Haley is elite and holds her own against all these playmaking guards and cuts them off and does what she does. And then you got these versatile kids. Donovan Hunter can guard multiple positions, and Bigby can guard multiple positions, and Aaliyah and Agnes can guard 1 through 4. So you got that blended with all of it together, and every once in a while Madison Connor's out there and she'll guard somebody too, but we've become a really good defensive unit, and that's a credit to these kids.
Any final questions for these two?
Hey, senior night, Fort Worth, senior night, Wednesday night. Obviously, the last time to see these guys during the regular season. It's going to be a fun, emotional night, and so please continue to come out and let's get the Schollmeyer rocking again.
come on, students.
Yep.
Students, come on, guys. Don't make me mad.
Go Frogs.